Climber that cut off his own arm. Hello, you may have come across the story of a young man who cut off his own arm just to save his life from a canyon. Oh, scary, right? You might be wondering how it happened. I have the full details of how it happened. Just make sure you watch this video till the end. Subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our interesting videos. Today's video, we'll be looking at his lifestyle, alongside with the story of how he got his arm cut off. Aron Lee Ralston was born on October 27, 1975 in Marion, Ohio. He's an American mountaineer, mechanical engineer, and motivational speaker. His spouse was Jessica Trusty, but he later married Vita Shannon, and they had 2 kids. He and his family moved to Denver when he was 12, where he attended Cherry Creek High School and learned to ski and backpack. He received his college degree from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, finishing with degrees in mechanical engineering and French, with a minor in piano. At Carnegie Mellon, he served as a resident assistant, studied abroad, and was an active intramural sports participant. He also worked as a rafting guide during the summer. Ralston worked as a mechanical engineer with Intel in Ocotillo, Tacoma, and Albuquerque for 5 years, but found himself burnt out by working in a large corporation. During his time as an engineer, he had built up skills in mountaineering, and in 2002 he quit in order to climb Denali. He moved to Aspen, Colorado, in order to pursue a life of climbing mountains. Like every man, Ralston also had a goal which he intended to achieve. After some time, Ralston began working toward his goal of climbing all of Colorado's 14ers, peaks over 14,000 feet. In 2003, he was caught in a grade 5 avalanche on Resolution Peak, Colorado, with his skiing partners Mark Beverly and Chadwick Spencer. No one was seriously injured, but his friends did not speak to him in the aftermath, causing him to reevaluate his approach to risk management. Now let's get deep into the action point. I call it the action point because this is the moment you all have been waiting for. Canyoneering accident. On April 26, 2003, Aron Ralston was canyoneering alone through Bluejohn Canyon in eastern Wayne County, Utah, just south of the Horseshoe Canyon unit of Canyonlands National Park. While he was descending the lower stretches of the Slot Canyon, a suspended boulder dislodged while he was climbing down from it. The boulder first smashed his left hand and then crushed his right hand against the canyon wall. Ralston had not informed anyone of his hiking plans, nor did he have any way to call for help. Assuming he would die without intervention, he spent 5 days slowly sipping his small amount of remaining water, approximately 350 milliliters, 12 imperial fluid ounces, and slowly eating a small amount of food, 2 burritos, while repeatedly trying to extricate his arm. His efforts were futile, as he was unable to free his arm from the 800-pound, 360-kilogram chalkstone. After 3 days of trying to lift and break the boulder, the dehydrated and delirious Ralston prepared to amputate his trapped arm at a point in the mid-forearm in order to escape. He realized on the 4th day that in order to free his arm, he would have to cut through the bones in it, but the tools available were insufficient to do so. After running out of food and water on the 5th day, Ralston decided to drink his own urine. He carved his name, date of birth, and presumed date of death into the sandstone canyon wall, and videotaped his last goodbyes to his family. He did not expect to survive the night, but as he attempted to stay warm, he began hallucinating and had visions of himself playing with a future child while missing part of his right arm. Ralston credited this as giving him the belief that he would live. After waking at dawn the following day, he discovered that his arm had begun to decompose due to the lack of circulation and became desperate to tear it off. Ralston then had an epiphany that he could break his radius and ulna bones using torque against his trapped arm. He did so, then amputated his forearm with his multi-tool, using the dull 2-inch, 50mm knife and pliers for the tougher tendons. The painful process took an hour, during which time he used tubing from a camelback as a tourniquet, taking care to leave major arteries until last. The manufacturer of the multi-tool was never named, but Ralston said it was not a Leatherman, but what you'd get if you bought a $15 flashlight and got a free multi-use tool. After freeing himself, Ralston climbed out of the Slot Canyon, in which he had been trapped, rappelled down a 60-foot, 20-meter sheer wall, then hiked out of the canyon, all one-handed. He was 8 miles, 13 kilometers, from his vehicle and had no phone. However, after 6 miles, 9.7 kilometers, of hiking, he encountered a family on vacation from the Netherlands, Eric and Monique Meyer, and their son Andy, who gave him food and water and hurried to alert the authorities. Ralston had feared he would bleed to death. He lost 40 pounds, 18 kilograms, including 25% of his blood volume. Rescues searching for Ralston, alerted by his family that he was missing, had narrowed the search down to canyonlands, and he was picked up by a helicopter in a wide area of the canyon. He was rescued approximately 4 hours after amputating his arm. Ralston later said that if he had amputated his arm earlier, he would have bled to death before being found, while if he had not done it, he would have been found dead in the Slot Canyon days later. His severed hand and forearm were retrieved from under the boulder by park authorities. According to television presenter Tom Brokaw, it took 13 men, a winch, and a hydraulic jack to move the boulder so that Ralston's arm could be removed. His arm was then cremated and the ashes given to Ralston. He returned to the accident scene with Tom Brokaw and a camera crew 6 months later, on his 28th birthday, to film a Dateline NBC special about the accident, in which he scattered the ashes of his arm there, where he said they belong. While Ralston had a terrible experience on the mountain that nearly took his life, life still continues. After the accident occurred, Ralston made numerous appearances in the media. On July 21, 2003, Ralston appeared on The Late Show with David Letterman, and his story was featured by GQ's Men of the Year and Vanity Fair's People of 2003. Ralston documented his experience in an autobiographical book titled Between a Rock and a Hard Place, published by Altria Books in September 2004. It reached number 3 on the New York Times hardcover nonfiction list. It hit number 1 in New Zealand and Australia, and is the number 7 best-selling memoir of all time in the United Kingdom. Later that month, Ralston's story was featured on a 2-hour edition of Dateline NBC called Desperate Days in Bluejohn Canyon. Ralston has appeared twice on The Today Show, Good Morning America, and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. He has also appeared on The Howard Stern Show, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, CNN's American Morning with Bill Hemmer, Minute to Win It, Anderson Cooper's 360, CNN Saturday Morning, Enough Rope, and CNBC with Deborah Norville. On September 28, 2004, he appeared on the radio program The Bob Rivers Show and described his ordeal as 6 days of terror and horror. If you were Ralston, would you ever think of climbing any mountain after such an incident? As for Ralston, he was a brave man and loved doing what he does no matter the circumstances. After his recovery, he continued to climb mountains, including Aconcagua in 2005 and 2008, Hoyos del Salado in Chile, and Monte Pisis in Argentina. In 2005, Ralston became the first person to climb all the 59 ranked and/or named of Colorado's 14ers solo in winter, a project he started in 1997 and resumed after the amputation in Bluejohn Canyon. He later noted that surviving being trapped in the canyon had given him a sense of invincibility at a time that it should have humbled him. He lost friends to suicide and became depressed after his girlfriend broke up with him in 2006. He has since tried to shift his focus away from adventure seeking for esteem purposes. We have come to the end of this video, and thanks for watching. Do you have any comments? Drop it in the comments box. And if you were in Ralston's shoes, what would have been your reaction? Also drop a comment. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.